Students are generally interested in Nova because they just need an alternative pathway for their education. So there's not a certain kind of student that always comes. We have a variety of reasons why a student comes to Nova. It could be because they need a smaller learning environment and that one-on-one individual attention with their teacher is what suits them best. It could be because they want to focus on their hobby or their passion. It could be because they need to work full-time to help out their family. There are a variety of reasons, but it's always because they need that alternative education, that alternative setting to earn their diploma.
It's flexibility. Being able to take the work in your own hands and basically teach yourself the material rather than just being lectured at. Yeah, I find that to be really helpful.
I came to Nova because I wanted more freedom, more time to pursue interests that were more important to me, like filmmaking and spiritual development.
I came to Nova because I wanted to get out of the traditional high school classroom experience and instead be able to focus more on my education instead of the social aspect of high school.
What brought me to Nova was that I noticed that my time was kind of being wasted in all my regular classes. I was really tired of that, and I really wanted a break from the monotonous school schedule.
I wanted a different type of education. Was always interested in working in my house, away from some bad companies, you could say, and just be at peace with myself.
Students who are interested in Nova are dissatisfied generally with the typical high school for a number of reasons. Bullying, they often have anxiety in large groups of people, and I think the most common reason though is boredom. They want to move faster than the regular high school will allow them to, and this program does that for them.
We all kind of are on this journey in life, but we don't all have to follow the same path. So that speaks very true to me in a way that there's more than one way to achieve something. And I feel like with Nova, it allows that flexibility and the ability to find your own beat. You know, we don't have to follow the beat of the same drummer.
One of the things that over the years I've noticed is that there are a lot of misconceptions about what we are and what we offer for students. The phrase that was running around when I first started teaching at Nova was that it was the slacker school. And I think if you ask any of our students, you can't be a slacker and do well in independent study. You have to really take ownership of your own learning and your own work.
I feel like I really was able to push myself to do the work by myself and teach myself. I think that really helps with self-discipline, and that's really what I struggled with when I first came into this program.
I'd say that the work is really quality over quantity. Instead of being given a bunch of busy work, it's assignments that actually hold a little bit of substance, and after you turn them in, you talk about them with your teacher and you get a much broader and better understanding of it than you would in a regular classroom.
Probably my favorite thing about Nova is my teacher, Miss Adams. She's not only taught me what it's like to be inspired by an educator, but also just a really great role model to have in my life. She's really helped me throughout my whole education process and schooling process, and I really enjoy school, and it's due to her.
And I see my students for a 1 hour sitting, and I feel like I know my students at a more profound level on a one-to-one basis. I can tailor their educational experience to their needs and interests.
And they come here for that one-on-one instruction and feel more comfortable in a setting like that, enjoy that kind of relationship.
I think it's great. I get to know students pretty well in a one-on-one situation. I can tailor assignments for their needs occasionally, not always. There are some standard California assignments that we need to give.
Some people think that maybe it's not an equal diploma, and I can assure you that we are accredited just like any of the traditional school sites. So that's the first concern that a lot of students or their parents might have.
Well, the college I'm going to is UCLA, and the other colleges I've been accepted to are Boston University, NYU, Chapman University, and Cal Poly. And yeah, those are some of the heavy hitters that I've gotten into.
And I've noticed that they seem to have a vision of what they want their education to be like. and kind of like a unique sense of what they want to do.
I began auditioning in theater companies. Over the next 10 years, I was involved in more than 20 productions with that program. Then, based on these experiences, I made the decision that I wanted to do theater, also film too. This is an example. This is the first professional role I've landed this year, Tarzan at Spreckles Theater.
I make music, I do short films, I do a lot of post-production work. Nova absolutely makes it a lot easier to go after what I'm passionate about.
While I was at Nova, I was also enrolled in the Marin School of the Arts film program, so not going to regular school and doing everything independently, it allowed me to focus my time on film rather than sitting in classes.
Kind of my mission is to make films about primarily freedom, and Nova certainly allows me to do that by giving me freedom.
You know, the public school system, going to school 5 days a week, it doesn't work for everybody. Being there for 7 hours a day, it just doesn't work. And with Nova, you're allowed to do other things with your life, hobbies, work, and just learn the responsibilities of being an independent person. I really enjoy meeting new people and just having interactions, and independent study has not made me unsocial at all.
I think Nova brings an alternative to traditional learning, allowing you to think outside of the box and do things that most kids won't be able to do during their high school years.
And it's much more the idea of independence, and I think that's what we need for our future, is a sense that we have the ability to create something new instead of just funneling into kind of the mess that we're sort of in right now.
The youth of today that are brave enough to be different are the ones that are going to change the world, and that's who our Nova students are.
No one needs.
How far into it are we, Jake? 4:20. Pull it out. Can everybody pull it out? Can everybody look at Dylan's thing here? That's pretty cool. You know, I guess things could be cooler, but watching water change from liquid to ice in front of your eyes, that doesn't happen every day.